Fair use. The right words when you need them the most by Donna Ashworth. To me manque. The French don't say I miss you. They say tu me manques. You are missing from me. You are missing. I feel your absence as though I am lacking a vital part of my body. But for some reason, I continue to live on. You are a vital part of my soul, so I suppose that makes perfect sense. They say that grief is simply the love you felt for that person, roaring around in pain, trapped inside your body with nowhere to go. I have so much of that for you. I have so much of it, I could open the windows and let that roar encompass the world. Tu me manques. You are missing from me. Grief, one day at a time. 365 Meditations to Help You Heal After Loss by Alan D. Wolfett, PhD. November 25th. It's so curious one can resist tears and behave very well in the hardest hours of grief. But then someone makes you a friendly sign behind a window, or one notices that a flower that was in bud only yesterday has suddenly blossomed, or a letter slips from a drawer and everything collapses. A quote from Sidonie Gabrielle Colette. We can be so surprisingly tender in our grief. The smallest, most harmless everyday thing can pierce our hearts like a needle. It's because our hearts are wounded. They are injured, and the wounds are easily pained. The surprising moments of pain call us to attend to our grief. I'm still here, our grief says. I still need your attention. The meditation reads, when something simple pricks my heart with pain, I will know that I need to take a moment to mourn. I will know that the pain is a signal for me to slow down and embrace my grief. November 26. Give thanks for unknown blessings already on their way. A Native American saying. At Thanksgiving, we do a sort of backward looking inventory. We consider that which we have had the privilege of experiencing in the past, as well as in the present, and we say thank you to each other and to God. This is a lovely, meaningful tradition, but let us also consider that giving thanks may at any time also be a forward-looking expectation. We can choose to anticipate blessings that are sure to come our way. We can, in other words, cultivate hope and faith. Good things are already on their way to us. I believe this, and I hope you do too. The meditation reads, I give thanks for the good that is yet to be in my life. November 27th. We can only be said to be alive in those moments when our hearts are conscious of our treasures. A quote from Thornton Wilder. After we survive the early days and weeks of our grief, this is our goal, isn't it? To truly live the rest of our days, to be really and fully alive even as we continue to mourn. Our aliveness, says Wilder, depends on our mindful awareness of the gifts in our lives. And so we strive to live in the moment and to have gratitude for those we love and all our many treasures. Our love for the person who died was and is one of those treasures. When we find the courage to give thanks for that love, we are really and fully alive. The meditation reads, "Today I give thanks for the person who died. I give thanks for the love we shared and the love I still feel." November 28th. Some foods are so comforting, so nourishing of body and soul, that to eat them is to be home again after a long journey. To eat such a meal is to remember that, though the world is full of knives and storms, the body is built for kindness. A quote from Eli Brown. For many of us, our appetites have been affected by our grief. Some of us aren't hungry, while others of us may be overeating in response to the stress. While we can't eat or not eat our troubles away, we can now and then turn to sensory pleasures for comfort and even healing. If we have comfort foods, now is the time to enjoy them in moderation. I myself love tucking in to a generous bowl of spaghetti. It reminds me of my German father, who loved to say, "I'm a German who thinks he is Italian." So he went back for his third plate. I remember him fondly as, in tribute to him, I do the same. Our bodies are indeed built for kindness. Giving them things they find pleasurable helps us find moments of enjoyment in the midst of our grief and reconstruct reasons for living. The meditation reads, "My favorite food is," fill in the blank. "I'll treat myself to some today." November 29th. I have been driven many times upon my knees by the overwhelming conviction that I had nowhere else to go. My own wisdom and that of all about me seemed insufficient for that day. A quote from Abraham Lincoln. When we have a nowhere else to go, many of us are driven to our knees, literally or figuratively, in prayer. Prayers about grief are mourning, you know. They are a form of expressing your grief outside yourself, of trying to communicate your grief to someone else. We are so very tiny in this universe. Our lives are infinitesimal specks. In that context, we are utterly powerless and without wisdom. But maybe God will share a morsel of his wisdom with us if we only ask. Perhaps sharing our grievous thoughts and feelings with him will be just the outpouring we need to make room for more hopeful thoughts and feelings today. Let's try. The meditation reads, "Dear God, I have so many things to say and to ask. I trust you are listening." November 30th. You have not lived a perfect day unless you have done something for someone who will never be able to pay you back. A quote from Ruth Smeltzer. What's a perfect day in grief anyway? I would say it's a day in which we've embraced and expressed any thoughts and feelings that came up, been honest with, as well as kind to ourselves and others, and tried to appreciate each moment. But maybe Ruth Smeltzer is right. Maybe our perfect day is not truly perfect unless we've also gone out of our way to actively help someone who can't pay us back, who maybe doesn't even deserve it. Grief is an appropriately me-focused experience, but when we're ready, looking around us each day for an opportunity to be of service to someone else can turbocharge our healing. If we serve selflessly, we end up saving ourselves. The meditation reads, "When I am ready and have the energy to help others, I will start looking for small daily opportunities." December 1st. I would rather be ashes than dust. I would rather that my spark burn out in a brilliant blaze than it be stifled by dry rot. I would rather be a superb meteor, every atom of me in magnificent glow, than a sleepy and permanent planet. The function of man is to live, not to exist. I shall not waste my days trying to prolong them. I shall use my time. A quote from Jack London. Who is not stirred by such a sentiment? Fortunately for us mourners, its message applies just as much in times of grief as it does in times of boredom or joy. To live in grief is to reach out to others, to talk about our thoughts and feelings, to sob, to journal, to express. To use our grieving time is to mourn actively, openly, and fully. So let's not waste too many of our days in denial and distraction. Let's be bold. Let's be meteors in grief, our inner truths brilliantly ablaze for everyone to see. The meditation reads, I want to live, not just exist. I shall use my time of grieving. Please share and remember that you are not alone.